Okay, I used this entire can, all 14 ounces of it. It says to basically preheat the oven to like 220 degrees, let it set for 4 or 5 minutes and wipe it off. This frame has been sitting out here all day in the sun, about 77 degrees. So it's not 220 degrees, but it's going to be hot enough, I think. I'm going to let this sit for about 15 minutes, maybe even 20, and then rinse it all off and see how well this worked. So let's stand by while I set my timer. Well, look at there. All that extra grease, it's all turned yellow. You know what that means? That means it's emulsifying all that extra grease. That, to me, is a winner chicken dinner, because you don't see that yellowing of all of the grease when you use the other material that cost 4 times as much. So I'm going to say that I am an easy off guru now when it comes to degreasing vehicles. Now, I do have to warn you though, you do not want to use it on anything that's aluminum, whether it be cast or forged. You got to be careful around rubber. You have to be careful around plastics, because plastics and rubber are made from petroleum, and this stuff will slowly break it down. So let's go ahead, hose this down, and see how much better it's going to look. Oh my goodness. I am an easy off fan. I won't use any of that gunk stuff anymore. Just 10 minutes of one can. Look at this. Look how much cleaner that is. I'm going to put one more can on just to get the rest of it. I'm not going to do it until tomorrow, though. I'm going to let this all dry out. This, I mean, look at this. Back here on the differential. Look how much cleaner that is. Look how much cleaner that is on that axle, or the hub and such. Look at that. The emergency brake, differential, transmission, universal joints. Look how much cleaner they are. I am a big fan of the Easy Off. So if you go to a store where you live, and I live close to you, and you can't find an Easy Off at the Family Dollar or Dollar General, chances are I've already bought it. So yes, I mean, there is a bad, I don't want to say bad spot, but it's, you know, because it's painted. But look at that. Look how clean that metal is. That data plate is clean. Now again, you have to be careful when you're on electrical, rubber, or aluminum of any type. Sometimes stainless steel, things like that, it could etch into the metal and ruin it for you. So, but with all the other cast stuff, framework, things like that, I mean, look at that. Look at the differential. Let's go back here. Let's look at this. You saw what it looked like before. Look at it now. I can see where Farmer Jim has brazed some holes shut. So chances are I may have to buy a new cover. Well, you know what? I'm just going to buy a new cover anyway. But I just need to get this thing cleaned up first. Get the frame and rail paint done. And then work on getting that motor started. And we should be well on our way to get it done. So that's all for now. Take care of yourself. Be good to each other. Use the Easy Off to degrease. And remember, if the women don't find you handsome, may they at least find you handy. Bye. Now, one thing I'm going to do is once I use that third bottle of oven cleaner, let it dry for 24 hours. Make sure it's good and dry. Then I want to take this liquid rust dissolver, put it in this $2 spray bottle, spray in all the areas inside the frames and spots that I can't get to dissolve the other rust. Let that sit for 30 minutes, hose it off, let it sit for overnight, for at least 24 hours. Then I can use my frame and rail paint. So that's the goal. We'll see what happens. All right, welcome back to another quick video from Mac Street Garage. This will be the last one for today. Like my buddy up in Nova Scotia, sometimes I don't know when to stop. I did use my second can of Easy Off oven cleaner. For each can, it's 14.5 ounces at $5.50 at my local Family Dollar versus one 16-ounce spray bottle at the auto parts store for $15.95. So I bought three cans of the Easy Off versus one of the spray bottle. And you saw what the spray bottle did before. Now, you can see, look on here, the differential. Farmer Jim got in there with a brazing rod and filled in some holes. I don't know what surprise I'm going to get there, but I will definitely have to replace that differential cover. I sprayed everything again with the second can of Easy Off. Got in closer on the U-joints. Got closer around the motor mounts and the parts where you can have a hard time getting into. I did the block, the bell housing, starter motor, which I'm going to replace anyway, and the steering knuckles in the front because they are pretty dirty, as you can see. Now, one warning with the Easy Off. Do not use it around rubber parts, around wires, around starter motor alternators. It can break down the coating that's on the windings. You don't want to use it ever on aluminum. You will etch the aluminum and you'll never get it out. Stainless steel, that's kind of a 50-50. You got to be careful. Just remember, with any type of cleaner, a little bit at first is better than a lot. Follow the instructions. The first can, I was out here in the sun. I let it set for 5 minutes. It got off about 50% of the grease. Second can, it got off another 30% of the grease. And tomorrow I'll come out with a third can, spray this one more time in the spots and nooks and crannies and everything, and it should be good to go. So with that being said, any type of engine degreaser or cleaner, use it sparingly. Do it 3 or 4 times versus once, because once could ruin everything. So with that being said, be good to yourselves, be nice to each other, and if the women don't find you handy, may they at least find you handsome.